Don't do this during a dog fight. Hi, I'm Rich with OffGridDogs, Training and Behavior, Tampa, Florida, and I'm crazy about you because you love your dog. So, the biggest mistake I see people make during a dog fight, and I mean a real dog fight, is they do stuff that doesn't work. And I've even seen trainers advise people to do things that don't really work. Doesn't seem like many people know what to do during a dog fight. And I'm speaking of a real dog fight. There's basically two scenarios typically when a real dog fight happens, which is the dogs are evenly matched and they both end up kind of latched onto each other, often like on the side of each other's face, and they're just sort of locked together like that. And those are the most difficult kind to break up, because if they're evenly matched, then they're kind of very kinetically jockeying for position, so they're not holding still for you while you try to take care of the problem. The other scenario is a much bigger dog or more powerful dog locked onto a smaller, weaker dog, so that it's a one-way fight. He's just killing the other dog, and that's a little easier because he's not really even fighting the other dog. He's just biting him and shaking him, so you can, it's not as kinetic. You can do what I'm about to tell you should do. The things you should not do, which I see all the time, or have seen and also hear even dog trainers tell people to do, grabbing their hind legs and pulling them apart. Like if you have two people and one person grab each dog, that'd be more in the case of a more even fight. That doesn't work. For one thing, the dogs don't care if you grab their legs. There's such a high drive when they're in the middle of a dog fight like that, latched onto each other. They're going to keep fighting. And so when you go to pull them apart, you're just ripping the wounds open and making them worse. And they're going to be bad enough as it is if you've ever seen a bad dog bite. So you don't want to do that. The other thing you don't want to do is like get the water hose. I hear people say they spray the water hose on the dog. They could care less. Hitting the dog, unless you hit him with a sledgehammer and kill him, hitting the dog is going to do nothing but make him mad at the other dog. He feels that pain. He's going to blame it on the other dog, and he's going to bite him even harder. So, yelling, of course, does nothing except maybe makes it worse. It stimulates the dogs even more. So, the first thing you should always do is stay calm. So none of those things are good things to do during a dog fight. The other big mistake I notice that people make, and it's understandable because I'm just very happy that my wife, when she got involved in, when our dog got attacked a few times, she had the common sense to do the right thing instead of what people naturally normally do. And that is, let's say you have a dog that is capable of defending himself. And this was the case with my wife. She's an, older lady, not that physically strong as she used to be. So she's got, we've got a 140-pound Great Pyrenees. He can defend himself a whole lot better than she could defend him if she's not carrying, some kind of weapon, which she wasn't back then. So she did the right thing when a German Shepherd, in one case, a Rottweiler, in another case, and 5 different pit bulls in 5 other cases. When she was out walking them in the nature trail or whatever, where you're supposed to have your dog on a leash, and somebody had their pit bull off leash, and he attacked our dog and tried to kill him. She didn't do the wrong thing, which comes natural, which is to try to pull your dog away with your leash, because you have your dog on a leash like he's supposed to be. No, don't do that, because if you do that, you're throwing your dog off balance. And I'm talking about a large dog or a dog that can defend himself on his own, don't help the enemy dog. That's what I'm saying. So don't pull on the leash and try to pull him away from the other dog, because you're just throwing your own dog off balance and giving the other dog the advantage in the fight. So if my wife had done that to our dog, and assuming she's strong enough to even get our dog off balance because he's so strong, then the pit bull would have had a better chance to latch onto him. So luckily she did the right thing and just let the leash loose and let our dog do his thing and defend himself. So he was able to, pin the pit bull and submit the pit bull without even having to bite the pit bull, and didn't get a scratch on him. I mean, our dog didn't get a scratch on him either. Neither dog got injured in most of those cases. In one case, he did have to bite the pit bull. But the other 6 dogs were not even injured. And our dogs never had a scratch on them from these 7 dog fights. And when I say dog fights, I mean a real fight where, at least one of the dogs is hell-bent on killing the other one. I don't mean some growling or some snapping or some dominance where, a dog jumps on somebody, or I mean a real dog fight where he's, going for the throat or something. So, yeah, that's one mistake not to make, is don't put your dog at a disadvantage by yanking on the leash trying to get him away from the other dog, because you're not going to get him away from the other dog. You're just going to put your dog off balance where he can't fight and can't defend himself. So a good thing to do is to stop the fight from happening, of course. So carry some, mace, pepper spray, a big stick, whatever you want to carry to, deter the other dog, intimidate the other dog before the fight actually happens. Keep him away from your dog. But if it's going to happen, then that's a different story. Now, turning the water hose, hitting, once the dogs have latched on to the other dog, pulling the legs apart, these are all the wrong thing to do. The only way, other than your Smith & Wesson, and this could save a life, because this could be your kid. This doesn't even have to be a dog fight. If a pit bull, a German Shepherd, any kind of a powerful dog latches onto your kid, this is the thing to do. Take your leash, take your belt, your necktie, anything you've got, piece of rope, whatever you've got handy. Hopefully you've got a leash with you. Wrap that leash around the dog's neck and lift him. That's all you do. You lift him. His own weight will choke him out. If you, wrap the neck, lift the dog up off the ground, he won't let go of your dog or your child. He'll, keep biting, but in a very short period of time, he'll be unconscious, and then the fight's over. And then they release that bite without doing any more damage. Whereas if you rip the dog away from the victim, you're ripping that wound open way bigger. So that's the way you end a dog fight, is you choke out one or both of the dogs, depending on the situation. And, if you go on YouTube, I don't really recommend it because they're horrible videos. That you'll see videos of really bad situations where there'll be 10 or 15 people standing around, all doing the wrong thing. Nobody knows what to do, and this poor little dog is getting killed by a dog 5 times bigger because nobody knows how to stop a dog fight.